That was great.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches. Not to be confused with Books and
Fletches.
I'm Kristen.
Maria.
I'm Kristen, and with me I have
Flerica.
And Maria.
You can't just said Maria.
Sorry.
This is a book podcast. We're triple S.
Is it?
We swear, we spoil, and we talk about sex. So be ready for all those things. Okay, stop. I don't like this.
You know what's funny? Every time you say these things, I say that in my head.
Go back to
in my head, I go, do we? Are we?
I have
we
homework. Your homework
Okay.
is to go back to our first episode, seriously, and listen to how annoying we were compared to now. Like
Really?
we've progressively got more annoying. I love it, but I'm just saying it's very
We've
different.
either alienated you or we've
enticed
adopted
you further into this.
It's very funny. It's like YouTubers. When YouTubers start to get comfortable on their platform, they start to yell more. Now I'm so fucking conscious of it. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. It's just an interesting transition, and it happens a lot.
just feel
that's
like-
the content that people are into these days.
Loud, annoying.
Yes.
Oh.
It's interesting. That's all I'm saying. I'm not upset about it.
I don't know.
So this week we're talking about Eclipse, which is a part of the Twilight Saga, written by Stephanie Meyer.
What's wrong?
I am done with Twilight.
No.
You got two more fucking movies to watch.
But one more book?
You're never reading the
We're gonna-
book.
Yeah, you're.
No, but is it one more book? Is it
It's
two
one more book.
Two
One more
movies
book.
in a book? Or
Two
whatever?
movies in a book.
Okay. I'm done.
Well, you have two more movies left, so you're not done.
I genuinely don't think I could watch two more movies.
I don't
Yeah.
give a shit what you think you can watch.
And honestly, our followers don't give a fuck. They
I
want you
know.
to make sure you have to give live reactions
They want me to suffer.
through both on Discord and on Instagram.
No, the only thing that kept me sane last night, so I watched Twilight last night. I watched Eclipse, so I'd be prepared. The only thing that kept me sane was our Discord channel. Like, everybody in it was funny. We were asking the important questions. Do vampires poop? It was a good
Because I
time.
posted that TikTok.
Oh, it was all your fault.
No, I originally posted this TikTok of a girl being like, can you imagine when Bella had to poop for the first time in the Cullen house
on the virgin toilet.
and that on the virgin toilet because
That's
nobody's
so
ever
funny.
pooped in that toilet.
That's so funny. That's so fun. But they definitely use their toilet.
And then think about
For what?
We'll talk about it.
like
We'll get
for
into
what?
that.
And then
They
thinking
poop.
about Esme like ferociously like cleaning the toilet afterwards.
Vampires do poop. That's what
No.
I'm... Okay, we'll talk about it.
I don't think they have bowel
We'll
movements.
talk. Do we want to get into this right now?
Again, if we go
'Cause I
back to
will.
how I visualize and I think of vampires and their bodily functions.
Do we want to talk about this right now?
Carol, so I said on the Discord just now, I said, yo, Kristen is trying to say she doesn't want to watch any more Twilight movies, bully her. Carol B has already said she's already made it this far, well, might as well finish. So
Somebody told me they get worse. If that's possible, then I can't.
the next one has a marriage.
Well, to be fair, I hardly watched this one.
You
Okay,
just
let's
bitched to
get in. Okay, this is going to be a mess. I'm just telling you right now.
Yes.
This podcast is going to be a
Yes.
mess. If you listen to our last
It's
Twilight,
always a mess.
Listen to our last Twilight episode if you want to. We've done them all, so you could stay following the trend. Hop on the Twilight train. You'll know that Erica and Maria have both read the book. I have only watched the movie.
Yes.
So I'm trying really hard to follow along. I'll have a lot of questions. Maria's going to be the one that keeps us grounded here because she read it the most recently.
Yes.
Maria, previous to this past reread, when was the last time you read it?
Years ago.
Okay.
And you haven't read it in years, right?
No, I read it last year.
Okay.
Last summer, she read the whole series.
Yeah, I read the whole series last year.
Okay, fair.
But I watched the movies, I'd say, every month.
What?
Okay, that's fucking weird, and I cannot believe you just said that out loud. We do need to do another mental health episode. We actually do. That's concerning.
Rewatching like comfort movies is like
I don't rewatch
thing.
series movies.
What?
Like, I don't go back to Twilight often at all.
I do all the time, but I also rewatch Harry Potter just as much.
Nope.
But those movies are good. Okay, I don't want to yuck your yum.
I don't.
But
I
Twilight
don't. Okay, let's go into this. I don't sit there, put Twilight on.
Twilight.
I didn't sit there and put Twilight on.
It's turning your brain to mush.
I don't sit there, put Twilight on, and go. Yeah, let me like eat
Yeah,
and
I'm on my
watch this,
phone.
and like I'm like fucking around. It's like on in the background as like like how a guy would put the
game
football
on.
game on. It's in the background
Okay.
of my life.
My
Always.
life.
It's a
A constant. It's a constant.
Okay, fine. My point is they're
Okay.
very bad movies.
I've never said they were good.
I disagree.
You think they're good movies?
I think they're fine. I think for what they are.
Exactly. I agree with that.
They're just boring. They're so boring.
So-
There's no substance.
When I first watched it, I was enthralled.
So here's the thing about movies. There are good movies, right? There are movies that deserve Academy Awards. There are good movies that like, and there's a template for what a good movie is. There's a standard in which movies are made and require, like, that's what makes them good, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So like The Shining. That movie stands out to me as like one of the greatest movies of all time. The Godfather, those types
Princess
of
Bride.
movies.
Princess Bride.
Sure, I'll throw that in there.
She didn't want to.
No. But I'm saying like those are good movies. Those are
Classics.
Classics. They have
Sure.
the right components in them.
I know this isn't one of those movies.
No, but then there are also movies that are equally as good, but they're not in the same way. So like action movies to me, bad writing, always. Bad screenplay, always. Special effects, questionable. Like,
But here's the difference.
but they're still good movies. Die Hard's still a good movie.
Because they're entertaining
yes.
and they take you on a journey.
Yes.
Twilight is not entertaining
It is
at all.
to people.
So some
me.
people do you like action movies?
I love action movies.
Okay. What's a movie that you don't like, a genre you don't like? Do you like romance?
Yeah.
Like Kate and Leopold, right?
Yeah. I don't
Something
know
like
what
that.
is. Yeah.
Have you seen that movie? So like a Kate and Leopold movie. Like that movie.
it's a very
like
weird one. You
I don't
chose.
know why I fucking. I was just
You
thinking
can
like
say
a
Romeo and
romance.
Juliet. You can just
I
say
was just
that.
thinking like a romance, like a very like
The Proposal.
Where are you going with this?
no, because that's more of a rom com.
Where are
I
you
was thinking
going
like
with
a
this?
true romance.
True romance.
What's your
kinda?
point?
Pride and Prejudice. Whatever.
What is your fucking
my
point?
My point is you're grading on the genre. You're not grading on
It doesn't matter,
Movies.
Erica.
Twilight. Is
What genre is that?
It's a paranormal romance.
Paranormal romance?
Teen paranormal
Tween,
romance.
I would say.
No, it's
whatever
teen.
the fuck genre it is, you're grading on that.
And I still think it's horrible and bad. So
For
now
that
what?
genre?
We're at a fucking crossroad.
What are you comparing it to?
Harry Potter,
No.
Hunger
Not
Games.
the same.
No.
Not the same.
So give me something to compare it to, and I'll tell you if that's better.
Incomparable.
Yeah. Okay. So
Incomparable.
your
It's its own-
entire theory is
its
pointless.
own thing.
Did you see Vampire Academy?
No.
I was gonna say that too. She
In
wouldn't have
what
seen it.
world would I have watched Vampire Academy?
It's its own thing. It's its own world. Like Twilight.
Then her theory doesn't
Twilight
make
has
sense.
started its own genre.
Okay.
Yeah, but
It sucks.
since Twilight, there has been movies.
My point is, my opinion is that it sucks. I'm not trying to yuck your yum. If you like it, you like it. I just think it's weird you watch it once a month. And
yes, she should have said that.
and here's the deal. We're going to talk about the pooping situation because I think we need to. But let's just jump into Eclipse
We are
first and get this
15
shit.
minutes in,
That's why I
haven't
want to
even
get
done the
this.
6
Let's get this
seconds.
over with. Erica, you're doing the 60 seconds. All right, so we do this thing on our podcast where we attempt to explain an entire plot summary of a book in 60 seconds or less. Erica, stop making that fucking face. You're going to do Eclipse. You're going to try to explain all of Eclipse in 60 seconds less. Are you ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, there's a bunch of shit that happens in the previous 2 books. Basically, there's a rogue vampire that's coming after Bella. She's raising a newborn army. She's biting newborns, or biting people, making them into newborns.
She's doing good.
And this vampire wants to get back at Edward because Edward killed her mate back in book 1, and she thinks the retribution is killing his mate. So basically,
An eye for an eye, bitch.
Bella finds out about the werewolves
30
in book
seconds.
2. So now she's like part of the wolf pack. And she gets to get in the wolves because the wolves hate the vampires too. So they're like, yeah, we're going to kill these motherfuckers too. They're all in on killing vampires, and they get to kill these newborns, so they're pretty pumped. And then the
10
Cullens,
seconds.
the Cullens are also trying to kill the vampires too, and they all team up together, and it's Cullens plus
3,
wolves v new vampires.
2, 1. That was good. Maria's in.
we're missing some things, but like the overall conflict of the book, she got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
couldn't
she did
get
good.
all the
To be
details.
honest,
You got the conflict.
You
That's-
said
that's all-
everything that I remember from the movie.
Yeah.
So you got everything that I saw. I don't know what.
Yeah,
we're
no,
missing.
you did
The
great.
only
You did
major
great.
thing
Just
that
the
I
tent-
didn't,
the tent
the only
scene.
major thing that I didn't mention is I think she agrees to marry him.
Yes,
That
she
already
finally
happened.
said, yeah, but now she really said yes.
She didn't really say yes.
She had like mentioned the first book. She was like, "Wait, what?"
And
You want me
Victoria
to marry
dies
you?
and her head pops off.
Yeah.
Her head
Edward
pops
killed her.
off, and Logan is also killed as well because he was like a leader for a little bit there. So
He's not really a thing in the book.
So yeah, Eclipse. I like Eclipse better than I like New Moon.
New Boon.
really,
New Moon.
I think New Moon has been actually, honestly, the first one has been the most tolerable out of all of them so far, movie wise.
Because we're going into the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like Eclipse the most because there's like a lot of action, and it's like there's a fight.
Did I miss there was like 3 action scenes.
Yeah, it's a lot of action.
Yeah, that's
compared to the other books.
Where was the action in the last movie?
I don't know.
Bella running through a bunch of Italians.
I don't like these movies. Okay, let's go through the story because I missed it all.
Do we want to go through my chapter notes?
Yeah, let's go
the
through
chapter
Maria's
notes.
chapter notes. That's how we're going to structure this podcast.
'Kay.
We're going to go through Maria's chapter notes.
My notes are something. My first note is, why is Charlie written as a useless man? He's lived a life. Bella is too useless as a human to be better than Charlie.
So Charlie is the dad,
Yeah,
correct?
Charlie-
I feel
Charlie's
like
her
he's written as a clueless father.
When Bella was living with her mom, I'm sure Charlie existed just fine.
Yeah.
But like they
You're
have him
saying like he like
in the book. They have him as if like he can't even cook himself a meal.
Oh, yeah, it's weird.
And he went to go put something in the microwave that shouldn't go in the microwave. I think it was something metal.
Okay.
And she's like, "You can't put it in the microwave, Dad." And I'm sitting there like,
Like, how did he function before she showed
can't
up?
walk without fucking tripping.
He's
like,
a cop.
Exactly. Like, you can't tell me that Charlie's not a functioning human. He's a fucking
can
cop.
put stuff that's metal in the microwave.
Yeah, stainless steel can go in the microwave. I learned that off TikTok.
You can't put a fork in the microwave.
You cannot.
You could.
I'd pay to watch you do that, Erica.
You could.
I'd pay to watch at your house. I want to watch you put a fork.
There are certain things you can put in the microwave.
Listen,
I'm gonna Google it right now.
don't go and test this theory.
You're gonna
okay?
Google if you could put a fork in the
Don't
microwave.
test this theory.
There's a
viewers.
reason, and I don't know the
This is where we're
the
at.
background of it.
This is where
There
our
go-
podcast
there
has come
goes.
to.
This is what happens to us.
Jesus Christ.
This is probably the worst one that you could.
This
have
is
to
bad.
edit.
This is really bad.
It's something about like how the electricity travels.
It says
Yeah.
absolutely nothing right there.
Yeah,
Like I said,
it just can't hit the metal wall of the door or anything.
a fork.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, let's continue on. Okay? So, we come in on Eclipse, right? And things are sort of normal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Jacob and Bella are not really talking because Jacob's
Yeah.
upset about this whole thing with the Cullens and him being back, and you know, he feels like he has a claim on Bella. So Charlie in the beginning is very much like, Bella, just talk to Jake, and he's very much team Jake.
Yeah.
The whole main of the book,
Yeah.
Charlie's like very much team Jake.
Which, like, fair enough. Why the fuck would you choose Edward? You're choosing a dead, cold man
But he doesn't
over
know that.
a sexy
Charlie doesn't know that.
sex pot warm.
Charlie doesn't know that.
He turns into a
But
wolf.
if you're in Charlie's eyes, which I guess we're like really focusing on Charlie right now,
Okay.
but Charlie's eyes, look at this. Your daughter was left by this kid. You saw her depressed for months,
Right.
screaming every night, and Jacob's the one that made her better.
Yeah, I'm
And then
agreeing with
this
Charlie.
fucker
Why would
comes
you
back,
choose Eddie? Yeah.
And it's like,
I'm with him.
the fuck are you here for? Jacob's all the
He's
way.
skinny,
I
he's
agree.
scrawny. He's like blah.
Eddie is the worst decision, but
So
go on.
okay, I think I would have been swayed a little. I would have been slightly on the line if Taylor Lautner did not play fucking Jacob.
He's hot, though.
I liked him.
He sounds like he's rubbing both of his brain cells together to get the words out.
The acting wasn't the best.
That's an understatement. It literally sounds like he's like has to like crank his brain in order to talk.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
He sounds like a rock.
On top of this, okay, we're going.
Like a talking rock.
Edward's upset about Jacob. Oh God, I'm trying to get us back on
No,
track.
keep
I'm
going.
trying.
Keep going. You're doing great.
Edward's upset at Jacob because like every time they've seen each other, Jacob would put this idea in his head of how he saw Bella.
Yeah.
Like, so he would think and have a visual, like a mental image of Bella during her depression, and obviously Edward can like read minds, and he can see that, and he gets upset.
I definitely missed that.
I wrote, Edward is so annoying with Jacob. I don't understand why he's so bitchy. You're the one who left, asshole.
Right? Eddie is not cool. I don't like him.
My overarching a
lot of guilt.
Yeah.
My overarching note about this book is that, to me, while reading it for like the first time in a while, and especially coming right after book 2, it feels like we have a whole new band of characters.
Yeah.
They feel different to me. They don't feel like Edward, Bella, and
Jacob. It
Jacob.
even felt like that watching the movie.
It felt like a whole new characterization of these people.
It was
and
weird.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, Edward comes off as like so manipulative in this book, and then Jacob as well. Like, I think what happened was we had a true love triangle starting that had a true basis, like a real like foundation. This guy left. She started feeling things about this guy who was there for her during her worst. And that, to me, is a true conflict.
Sure.
But because we have this storyline of Bella keeps saying, no, Edward and I are meant to be, right? We're destined.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to even let the thought in of like Jake could be a potential. Right. So it just makes Jake come off as this obsessive weirdo.
Yeah.
When no, there's a true basis for where you're coming
that's
from.
A good point.
And I feel like the way it should have been written was like, just take that love triangle and really build it the right way.
He got very aggressive.
They should have kissed.
They did.
No,
they did.
No, I'm saying they should have kissed in New Moon.
Yes.
And it should have been like a true, like, Bella kissed him.
Yes.
And like felt something.
And the thing is
there
also,
was like, there was legs to that relationship.
There would have
was no
been
legs.
a true, like, growth of these characters, and like that could really cement why she loves Edward and wants to stay with Edward, because yes, Jacob's great, but it's not the same, you know.
See, how I don't agree, but I appreciate your point. I think that in this scenario, yes, I think Jacob gave him the relationship legs that it didn't have, and he comes off as crazy. But I think that's what brings like Edward's like predator out, and he's just like he's doing everything he possibly can to like protect his relationship, and he's not below like.
But even the way he's doing it is not
is
like,
manipulative. Yeah,
it's very.
But
even
that's what I'm saying.
Jacob,
I think it brings out the worst in him.
But
I think
even
it's bringing out the worst of both of them,
because even
and that's what we're seeing.
He got aggressive. Like usually he's just like on the back burner trying to like win her love. But he had said that line when they were in the garage or wherever they were. He said, "You're better off being actually dead than being one of them."
Yes.
And I was like, "Is he about to fucking kill her right now? Like, what is going on?"
That made Bella really upset in the book as well, and he feels so bad afterwards for saying what he said.
When I was on Instagram stories, I had said, Edward had said a line that I hate that people say in real life, which was, "It's not that I don't trust you, it's I don't trust him." I hate when guys say this, because it's like, okay, no, you're just telling me that you don't trust me because you don't trust that I won't allow advances or whatever. When he said that line, I was like, nope, I take it back. I don't trust him. Maybe I was wrong. So I don't know. That was weird. That was a weird character. It felt out of character for Jacob in my eyes.
It's so out of character.
Okay. I thought I wasn't
for him
sure.
to kiss her.
No, for him to say like, you're better off dead, and like the way that he said it, because he's always like, I got your back. I'm your number
here to support
one.
you. Like,
I have.
Why
you.
wouldn't you still be that way?
Yeah.
Especially because another thing I have an issue with is all these vampires just control Bella's life.
Yeah.
In all senses. No, Bella, you can't go to your own house
Everybody
this
controls
weekend.
her life but
her. I can't remember if it happens in the movie, but in the book, because they don't want her to go to the werewolves at La Push, they basically kidnap her and have her at the house, and Alice has to babysit her at the house for like sleepovers because they don't want her to go to La Push. And it's like, why are you controlling every step she makes?
Also, the whole werewolf like vampire thing is so dated. Like, just get over it.
Chapter 1. Edward not realizing that the werewolves exist because vampires do. Talk about delusional. That's what I wrote.
Interesting.
He's just like, I didn't realize there were going to be more werewolves. Like, yeah, it's because you're in town.
Yeah.
You ruin it. Anyway, other things.
We could skip forward because
we're skipping.
Let's go to the scene. Let's go to like when action.
Oh. Hold on. So in the beginning, there's something with Victoria. Something's happening that Edward knows that Bella doesn't. And so they get sent to Florida. And he does this whole manipulative thing.
Again with the manipulation.
To get her sent to Florida.
And he goes
so
with
in the book, he mentions to Charlie, he's like, did you know that my parents gave Bella a ticket to Florida?
Yeah.
And Charlie's like, you didn't tell me that, Bella. And she's like, no, I didn't tell you this. Well, yeah, you should definitely go. Yeah. And then Edward's like, I'm gonna go with you
to Florida, the sunniest fucking state.
To me, that moment right there is where I saw what E.L. James took to make Christian Grey. Because that is Christian Grey shit on 50 Shades of Grey.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's where you grabbed it.
Interesting.
That's what makes sense. This controlling dude
that
talks, just makes your whole life decisions. Anyway, so I was like, Edward coming off as so manipulative, starting fights with Bella and her dad, and then flips it. It's like whiplash.
Yeah.
I was very upset with him. Sorry, continuing
I can see that.
Bella's mom is very much like, you should not get married. Like, I'm very afraid. I see you guys, like, you're really, like, a little too obsessive with together.
You're also, like,
each other.
17 years old.
Your children, like, I got married young. Like, maybe slow down, Bella, she says. And I was like, yeah, your mom gets it. You're fucking weird.
Right?
Skipping. Did you know Jacob's 6'7"?
No, I didn't. What makes sense?
He's a big bitch.
He is 6'7".
He's a werewolf. What do you expect?
I don't think people realize how tall 6'7" is.
6'7"?
I follow a guy on Instagram who's 7 feet tall, and he puts a camera on his head, and he's like, "Oh, look, this is what it looks like above the racks at the grocery store."
He's like 16.
Yeah, I know.
6'7".
He's a werewolf. It makes sense.
I know, but they could have.
Werewolves are huge.
Right.
Says who? The werewolf
Your
handbook?
shitty fucking Twilight book. In the world of Twilight.
What world of
as
Twilight?
werewolves?
Did you not watch the fucking movie?
Since when are werewolves that tall?
In human form.
Taylor Lautner is,
It
I'm
makes
pretty
sense.
sure 5'10".
Yeah,
the
no,
point
in the movie,
is
he's
that
not.
it makes sense that he would be that tall. If in her world the werewolves are massive, which is how
Why?
she explains it. Why wouldn't it?
Why would they be that? That's abnormally tall.
Because they're shifting into a fucking werewolf.
No,
human form.
Human form.
But they are shifting eventually into a werewolf.
What does that have to do with the
matter.
werewolf?
Why do they have their shirts off all the time?
Because they run hot.
Yeah, they're hot.
Says who?
The book.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the book
he's at like
says
102. He's like,
I don't understand.
Why are werewolves tall? They're not real.
I thought it was too tall. I thought 6'4" would be fine.
How big are chupacabras?
For a 16-year-old?
How big are they?
It makes so much
They
sense
have to
me.
be 6 feet long.
I can't believe that's what you're honing in on, not the fact that he fucking shifts into a werewolf. That's fine, but he's 6'7". That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you hear how
In his
stupid
human
you
form.
sound? Like, genuinely. It's unbelievable, the topics we discuss.
So, like, depending on what world you're in, like, I'm pretty sure, like, Akatar, those guys are, like, close to 7 feet tall.
We are in the
all those
world
people.
of Twilight.
You know what I mean, though?
No.
I genuinely don't.
It depends what world you're in.
Yeah,
Yes,
depends what world.
we are in the world of Twilight, where
And
these
he's not that
dudes who
tall.
run around in the forest with their shirts off are very tall because they turn... Why is Edward so white and pale? There's reasons for these things. They exist for a reason.
I just felt like
Sparkle.
6'7" was a little too tall.
Okay, let's move on.
moving on.
Why did Edward go to Florida?
Yeah.
Very sunny.
Yeah.
Very sunny. I always circle back to this. I'm circling
What's
back
the
to
UV index?
What is the UV index of the sparkle?
And it
what
can't-
is the UV index?
And sun
of the
can't
sparkle?
penetrate him
A
through
window's
windows.
not a thing?
Does
He
reflected?
flew on an
on the
airplane.
plane. Yeah.
It was probably a red eye, but
That's a fair point.
red eye.
Or, you know, long sleeves.
Okay.
Anyways,
Hoodie.
what is the reflective UV index? Like if light reflects.
Yes.
When he
Are
was
we
in the
sparkling?
snow,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
only
he was,
one scene he sparkled, and then the
Really?
rest of it he wasn't sparkling.
Really?
Someone told me to just let it go and just know that like that's
I
how it is in
can't.
the movies, but I
can't
can't.
let it
I can't
go.
either. If you want me to be in this world and like be immersed,
Well, in the book, he sparkled the whole time.
okay, all right, fine.
But he still went to Florida.
I think that like of all the things that I dislike about Twilight, which is not not a huge list, which I know that pains you to hear, it's the sparkling for me.
Yeah, I hate all of it. So basically, let's skip ahead because this is taking forever.
We have to talk also about, we get new side stories in this. We get backstories in this book.
I don't care though.
We get Rosalie's backstory.
Nobody cares.
And we get, yes, we do.
Go on.
And we get Jasper's
Nobody
backstory.
cares.
It matters because it's thanks to his backstory that we defeat the newborns.
Does Jasper have a weird fan group like Kevin Jonas does?
I probably.
I've
He
never heard
reminds
of
me
it,
of
though.
like the ugly
I've never heard of
brother.
I don't like him.
A lot of people make fun
Like
of
Team
him.
Jasper, I guarantee they exist.
I'm sure there's a bunch.
There's always like a fan base for that weird character.
Yeah. He was a Confederate soldier.
Okay, so he's I missed the whole. They were telling his backstory.
I wonder if they talked about it in the show or the movie.
They did. They were telling his
briefly
back.
didn't.
He was holding some guy's neck or some kid, and he was like, "I could feel what they feel," and then snapped their neck. And I was like, "Well, then why would you want them to feel that?"
His depiction is actually really cool in the book.
I think
How
the
they
book makes
describe
it
him.
better.
How they describe his backstory in the book is actually really cool, and like
But how
his
did that
abilities
help?
are really cool in the book. And like,
He joined a vampire named Maria.
Okay.
She had her own little like newborn little army of herself, of her own, like her own little posse, and he would use his like abilities to help create newborns, and they would always like ignore newborns.
I
So
got you.
that's why he knows about newborns and what to do and how to get rid of them and what their weaknesses are and yada, yada, yada.
Okay.
So we get Rosalie's story. Rosalie's chapter really pissed me off because it was
Is she the mom?
no, Rosalie's a sister.
Oh.
With Emmett.
Oh, okay.
How she was a socialite and then like she got basically raped and then turned into a vampire.
Damn, I missed all that.
I don't think they added much.
they didn't do no, they did it in the next.
Is it in the next movie? Oh, because when the baby
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the action with things that start happening. They're running after Victoria. This is what I didn't like in the movie. The vampires can't go in the werewolves' territory because they get all upset. But they're hunting
treaty.
Victoria too, so they'll stop at certain spots and let the werewolves take over. But there's a part where Emmett loses his sense of what's going on and chases them. And this whole time they're chasing Victoria, can't catch her. Emmett leaps to go get her. He's like just in touch, and then the werewolf attacks him. And I'm like, you fucking idiot! You couldn't have done that to that bitch. Like genuinely, that shit made me so. I was like, this is so dumb.
It just shows the prejudice.
It's just
so
no, it's dumb. He could have got the other vampire.
They still don't trust each other. That's the thing.
Doesn't make any sense. The whole thing is stupid. All right, let's get
So
to the
the
part where they're
whole-
in the tent because I don't know how they got there.
Okay, so obviously we've been hearing out there have been deaths happening in Seattle.
Yes.
And they realize, oh, it must be like
The army.
vampires, and they deduce it's a vampire army starting up. It's run by Victoria, but they're not making decisions, so Alice can't really like see it coming. They keep changing things. They do things at random so that Alice can't see
I got you.
and get ahead of it.
Okay.
So the reason why they're in the tent is because they're trying to lead Victoria and her army to this clearing.
Oh.
And so they're taking Bella away
Okay.
to be somewhere else.
Sure.
In the book, Edward was supposed to be part of the whole fight. And Bella's like, I don't want you to be part of that. If you get to tell me I can't do things, why can't I tell you not to do it? He goes, okay, fine. I'll ask if I can like step out of the fight. Edward stays with her. Same with Jacob. She's like, I don't want Jacob to go either. Like, I don't want.
Does she
either
kiss
of
him in
you.
the book?
Yes, they kiss each other.
That made me mad. The
Yes.
whole Jacob Bella thing right in front of Edward's eyes, like she's like cuddling him for warmth, and then he's like threatening to go kill himself and like do this thing, and she's like no, and kisses him to stop him.
I wrote this. So chapter 15, Jake declares his love for Bella, and I feel like he's being extra. He's giving her an ultimatum. It's ridiculous. It doesn't feel like him. He's forced a kiss on her, and this is uncomfortable.
No, not that kiss. There's another kiss.
The other kiss was he
The one that
makes her ask.
Yeah, no, the one that she grabs him and kisses him.
Yeah.
I didn't understand.
Oh yeah, Charlie not upset that Jacob kissing Bella bothers me. I feel like the characters aren't themselves.
It's just weird. The whole thing was weird. It was a weird movie.
All of this is happening because of one basic bitch.
That's the other thing. Like, this is all because of Victoria?
No, it's all because of Bella.
Oh, well,
This is all Bella's
that's
fault.
True, too. That's actually a really good point. So how did it end? It ended, so they killed Victoria.
Because Victoria ended up realizing if Edward's not here, he's with Bella, and my thing is get Bella.
Yep.
They have a fight, yada yada. There's this like newborn vampires. They sort of had
Logan.
weird. Yeah,
His name's Riley. I keep calling him Logan because he looks like Logan from Gilmore Girls.
Okay, his name is Riley. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the book, we only see them when they first come in at the top, not the whole movie like you sort of see. And that's basically then the Volturi comes and they're like,
yeah, this is what I wanted to ask.
You're not a vampire yet.
So wouldn't realistically somebody ruined it for me. They spoiled it for me.
What?
Not that I care, but they were like, oh, I see why they didn't kill her is because she's a shield. So she's a shield?
Yes.
I don't even know.
So this was explained in chapter 26. And Bella sort of questions like why is it that some can affect me and others can't?
Yeah.
And Alice is like, well, listen, like Edward is affecting your mind, right? But Jasper affects your actual body.
Okay.
Your mind is not penetrable the way your brain works, which is why the Volturi is so interested in what you're going to become when you become a vampire. Because essentially,
okay.
anyone
Yeah.
who tries to manipulate her
But
mind
why wouldn't
can't
they
get
just?
in.
Why wouldn't the Volturi just turn her?
They're bored.
Oh, we don't know. Okay.
There might not be an actual explanation to that. It might just be
Good shit, Steph.
old vampires that don't really want to. Basically, Alice is like, no, I've seen it. It's happening. It's happening. And
So
they're
what
like,
was the last? How did it end? Oh, they ended in the flowers. They were like hanging out in the flowers,
And
they were
she
like, I
asked
can't
for
wait
the
to
ring,
marry you.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the book.
Oh, we skipped the part about Bella wanting to have sex.
Oh, okay. I guess we can talk about the fact that he's a virgin after 100 million years.
I always wondered
never
that. Is
jerked
he
off.
truly a virgin?
He's
I
never
took it as-
come.
He in the book he says his virtue thing.
He's never done anything. He's never touched
Google
himself, Erica. No,
Bullshit.
that's the story, and
I
that's
don't
how
think- I
they're
don't
able to
think
have a
it's the-
baby. Yes, look it up. That's what everybody said. It's like
Really?
a legit thing. Yes,
Because his
genuine.
cum was like still
Yes.
like lodged up.
Yes. He's never
It is the longest.
had an orgasm in his entire life.
So
He must have came so quick.
I just thought it was very interesting that she brought this up, but it made sense to sort of like really
Again.
hammer home that abstinence and wait till
Yeah.
marriage thing. 'cause
Stephanie
it was
Meyer
really much
is
like,
a Mormon.
Is that confirmed?
Yeah,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's not unrealistic for somebody to write about what you know, right? Like the
Yes,
wait till
yes,
marriage,
yes,
the
yes.
virtue thing. It's a prominent, it's not like a fucking secret. It's a prominent thing that happens in the Mormon community and in religion in general. And I'm not knocking it. Like if you want to wait for marriage, that's on you. But the point is that it's weird that he wouldn't have had some sort of experience in over 100 years.
especially during his like killer years.
That's really, really,
he was a
really
vigilante?
bizarre to me.
Wait, this is really funny.
Even
Is-
before he turned as a vampire.
Is Edward abusive? This is the Google
Yes.
answer. Yep. He was abusive. If you need proof, he gaslit Bella, lied to her, put her in harm's way, ghosted her, stalked her.
This is what I'm saying. Why would you choose Eddie?
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me. How are people team Eddie?
It really is a marvel he managed to jam all those into 5 movies, but he did.
It's just weird people are team
Listen,
Eddie.
this is kind of why I would prefer 50 Shades, because you start with 50 Shades and you know he's like that.
Yeah.
The question under that is, does Edward drink Bella's period blood?
Okay,
Okay.
let's talk about poop. Let's talk about it. Do vampires poop? Erica, they have to poop.
How? Why?
Because they're still taking in they talked about this in the okay.
Which channel of the Discord?
So I messaged
in
my
the smut channel?
Yeah, so I texted my sister-in-law, who's a nurse practitioner, so I just called her a doctor. She's not, though. She would argue that. So I texted her and I said, hey, do you think vampires poop? Her response was a question. She said, I don't know, do ticks poop? I looked it up. Ticks poop. They have to, everything that takes something in has to exert it somehow because there's toxins, even in blood, right? So my theory was that they peed blood, but everybody in the chat disagreed and said that
What chat were you in?
the smut channel, you got to go way up,
Holy
girlfriend. I mean, we were
shit.
talking all night.
Did we Google what tick poop looks like?
No, did you?
I'm looking now.
It like attaches itself to, let me see. That's tick poop. So I would argue that if ticks poop,
It looks like dirt.
I would argue that if ticks poop, because all they're taking in is blood, correct? If ticks poop, vampires poop as well. So your theory about the toilet, inconsistent. They
I
definitely use
agree.
it.
I didn't say it was my theory. I thought it was funny.
It's hilarious, but it's wrong.
You know what, Kristen? I agree with you.
Oh, wow.
About pooping?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree.
Wow.
Because
I'm going to cut that in after I said that all the movies suck, and it's going to cut to her going, you know what, Kristen, I agree with you. Actually, I'm going to take that clip and put it
Just
at the end of a lot of
everything.
things. Yeah.
I agree. I agree that there needs to be, if you're taking something in, you need to be able to become. Because where's it going?
Yeah, I was saying maybe they peed it out because it's like when you pee out toxins, it's a liquid as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like blood's a liquid. So I figured maybe it would go through their kidneys, that type of way. Because your bowels, are they working when you're dead? And then Robin had mentioned that they're not dead.
The way I always think of it is that vampires, when they drink blood, that makes their body work and function normally.
Yeah,
But it would be feeding. The blood would be food, so it would be feeding them the same things that we use carbohydrates basically to create.
Basically.
So it'd be essentially blood would be working as a carb.
Yeah, that's what I think of it
essence.
as.
Yeah.
The carb would break down in the stomach the same way that blood would. So yeah, it would probably go through the intestines.
I guess.
Look at that.
Well, this
Science.
is a health podcast now. I also want to point out, I do want to say this because she put a lot of work into it. When I went into the Discord, I said, hey guys, I feel like I am a student who's not doing her homework. I'm not paying attention at all and I don't know what's going on. So one of our Discord members, AKOLZ47, left me this amazing message so that I would be able to contribute today. And I should have read it beforehand, but here it is. Basically, Bella and Edward are back together, but she still wants to be BFF with Jacob, so they share custody of her and like make a weird divorced parent transaction across the border to the reservation. Jacob kisses her without consent. She punches him and breaks her hand. Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Then later, Jacob straight up asks her to give him a shot, and she won't tell him no, even though she's big love with Edward. Meanwhile, Victoria comes back and starts stalking the crap out of Bella, wants to eat her all up, so she starts making this army of newborns, which are crazy strong, I guess, in the world of vampires. You're the strongest you'll ever be in the first year after you turn. That's like a common trope. So she makes this army. Jasper has a lot of experience with newborns because he used to make them with a Mexican vampire back in the Civil War. So he trains everybody on how to fight them. They set up a trap where the Cullens are willing to work with the wolves because more and more young boys are turning into wolves because there's all these new vampires around. And they all agree that Victoria needs to go. So they're on a mountain for some reason. And Bella's cold. So while she's sleeping in a tent with both Jacob and Edward, Jacob is spooning her to keep her alive, and him and Edward are whispering shit about who's better. Jacob manipulates her into asking to be kissed by him by threatening to go off himself. And she gets her engagement ring, and it's ugly as fuck. Charlie is also around, and he's still the most bangable dude on the cast. So that's pretty much it.
Yep.
I think that
All right.
summarizes everything.
I think
we can end with that.
My main thing is justice for Charlie. Because he is a fully
looking like a
functioning man.
snack in that movie.
He's a fully
He
functioning
looks like James
man.
Franco.
It sucks how, as I get older, that like how much more attractive.
Yeah.
It doesn't
him
suck
I
to
am.
me.
Yeah, I
think it's great.
Vampires suck. And on that note, that's it. Thank you everybody for joining us on this chaotic episode,
Such a chaotic
of
episode.
Books and Betches. I hope you were able to follow along. If you
Probably
haven't read
weren't.
this
Sorry.
book, I'm sorry.
My recommendation,
No.
since you didn't ask,
No.
is don't read YA vampire books.
Yes, I'll actually
That's
agree
why
with that.
I mentioned
I'll
50
agree.
Shades.
So just go look us up on YouTube, Books and Betches.
don't at this
subscribe.
Books and Betches, just look
Books
us
and
up.
Betches.
You can find us on Instagram. That's books_n_betches, BETCHES. Go be a patron if you want to. We do other books there, and they're better than Twilight. So that's
And
it.
we do outtakes and stuff.
Thank you, everybody, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.